Hey guys, welcome back to the Fantasy World of Motorsports. This week we got me and Billy, and we brought our friend Jordan in for our Dover Week episode.
Hello.
Hello.
Again.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we get into our topic for this week, we had some breaking news this morning about our boy Alex Bowman deciding to race in Kyle Larson's No Limit series. Is that what it's called? The No Limit series?
High limit.
High Limit series. He was involved in a crash and he cracked a vertebrae in his back and is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks. And Josh Berry will be in the car. So, first off, I want to say I'm just glad it wasn't worse because that wreck looked really bad.
It was a scary wreck.
That was very scary.
Is Bowman in a contract year, or did he already extend?
He already extended right before the 500.
That's good.
Yeah, he's good through 25 or 26.
I was about to say, if I was him and I didn't extend, I'd be a little bit worried about Josh Berry driving my car.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good through 26, and I think Ally's good through 27. I think, or it might be 25 and 26. But either way, he's good for at least a couple more years.
No, yeah, I mean, sucks for him, obviously.
Yeah, it sucks when you're without penalties. You're basically the points leader, and you get hurt. But I will say that I'm glad it wasn't worse, and hopefully he's only out the 3 weeks instead of the 4 weeks. And yeah, they said a fractured vertebrae, but it could just be a hairline fracture, and this could be a precaution for all we know.
Right.
We're not
unless I'm misunderstanding what a fractured vertebrae does. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be 3 or 4 weeks.
I mean, you got so many of them in your back. It could have been any of the ones, or it could be multiple.
I don't know how vertebrae work.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, we're not doctors. We're barely even commentators. So,
Yeah. 3 weeks that'll put him at.
that'll have him missing this weekend at Dover, next weekend at Kansas, and then the week after at Darlington. So, and then it'd be iffy. It's iffy on whether or not he's going to be back for the All-Star race.
Okay, I'll still get to see 600 then, which is good.
Yeah, he'll be back for the 600 as of right now. But for the All-Star, it doesn't matter. He wasn't locked into the All-Star anyway.
No, it's just a free week. He can just rest. Really and truly, if I was him, I'd just sit out to the 600. He's going to win a race. But then again, coming back at the 600, it's kind of tough.
Oh, yeah, he's not locked in.
Yeah, so I'd come back as soon as I can from him, but I would not do the All-Star race if I didn't have to. That low speeds, lots of contact.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. So he said about Chase, but
listen, Chase impressed me coming up to finish 10th in his first race back. It definitely took him some time to get the rust off.
Yeah, I thought I was like, man, I'm just riding around 28th all day. That's gotta suck.
Right. He managed to be in the right place, and he got a top 10 out of it, which is good for him. Like he was starting to drive like Chase always does at Martinsville towards the end there.
Yeah, I thought if it would have went longer, he probably could have top 5 that thing.
Oh, for sure. Him and Truex were fucking rolling. But I will say that a leg injury to your braking leg is a little different than a back injury, depending on where on the back it is.
You are 100% correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's probably not good either way, but
right. Like, but I think we're all pretty much in agreement that we can't just tell drivers they can't have to live in bubble wrap, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think Rick Hendrick might be regretting.
No, he said he stands behind him. He said it basically was the same thing he said about Chase.
Yeah,
and Bowman was out there working with a direct Hendrick partner to promote them. And just shit happens.
Yeah.
I am not in the business of agreeing with Joe Gibbs, but now I can kind of see why he is a bit strict.
Until one of his drivers gets T-boned coming to a meeting and has the same injury Alex got.
Right. It can
and
happen.
then what's he going to do?
Now they're not allowed to drive cars that aren't NASCARs on Sundays.
Yeah. Don't worry, we got your driver coming to your house to pick you up.
We're gonna fly you guys around. We're gonna fly you guys in on helicopters. Just don't come to the meeting. We'll do it on Zoom if it's too foggy.
Yeah, right.
That seems way more unsafe.
I don't know, man. I feel like that there should just be a set of each driver to Joe Gibbs Racing, so they don't have to touch the outside world at all. You just put them in there like you're going to the bank and you're going through the drive-thru and you're dropping your check off to get cashed. It's just human-sized. That way they have no contact with the outside world. That'll save them, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
They want to like the tubes collapse or something.
Yeah.
We'll go into our what if for this week. Since it's Dover week, figured we would talk about probably, in my opinion, the greatest driver on that track in the last at least 25, 30 years.
Ever?
Yeah, probably ever, but like someone's going to pull some stat like Jim Bob McThornton won 42 races here between 1959 and 1972. I don't know.
Oh no, that's not a thing. Jimmie Johnsons.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
winning is. Regardless of what anybody says.
But Jim Bob Cooter won the late model race here.
Okay, that's good for him, you know?
I don't even know if they run late models at fucking Dover. But anyway, no, we're actually going to talk about a world without Jimmie Johnson. We're going to talk about if he never came to the Cup Series in 2003, driving the 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. What if Jeff Gordon never noticed his talent, never signed him? What would have happened just in general? Because that's 80-some wins and 7 championships.
Yeah, it changes the entire history of everything.
Yeah, for one, I probably wouldn't be a fan of NASCAR at this particular moment in my life. If I'm honest. I don't know.
You wouldn't have enjoyed watching Jeff Gordon win 7 or 8 championships?
No. I grew up in a really deep South. You know, nobody really liked Jeff Gordon, and I didn't. And growing up, I've never really liked Dale Sr. Just like I said, I fell in love with Jimmy. That's what I wanted.
That's fair.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
Well, I just think it'd be a different. I think for one, we'd still have the original style of chase.
You think so? You think that without Jimmy's domination, we don't change the format?
No, because I don't think there would be anybody else that would be able to dominate like that.
You don't think Brian France, with his Coke Field dreams, would push for it anyway?
No, I don't. I would love to say no. At the same time, if Jimmy's not discovered, does Czech and Alice even get an opportunity to crew chief?
I still say he does.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think the car still exists, and I had a couple people in mind for it. And I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Yeah, that's also a big question. Who drives the 40 whatever car number they go with?
It'd probably still be the 48.
Yeah, I don't think the 48 would change. I would love to. I don't even know who. I have a really high standard.
So I went through and I pilfered the rookie of the years from 2003, 2004, 2005. You know, the whole era around where Jimmy came in, and I got it down to 3 possible people.
Matt Kenseth?
Nope, Matt Kenseth was already Matt Kenseth's rookie year was like 01 or 02. But no, my three: one, Greg Biffle, who did not join the Cup Series until 2005 because he got made to run a year in trucks for Jack Roush. And, if Gordon's looking around for a talent to start a second team, which he clearly was when he found Jimmie, who's to say he doesn't notice the guy that's tearing up the whole area Greg Biffle's from? That's how he got noticed by Jack Roush.
True.
That's true.
So him, and then excuse me, also had Casey Kane.
That one could work.
So if you remember, Casey Kane went to Everham in 2004. He was signed to Ford before that, and he was running for Robert Yates in the Xfinity Series. Mm-hmm. And he found an out clause in his contract where if they weren't providing him a full-time ride, that he could go and sign with a different manufacturer. And they actually ruled in court that he was right and could get out of the contract. That's how he ended up getting signed with Everham.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. So I say he does that a year early. He ends up at Hendrick about a decade sooner than he ended up getting over there. And I'd say him and Chad could rattle off some wins.
Yeah, Chad can rattle off wins with anybody.
I mean, God, how close he came in Everham equipment. If he's in Hendrick equipment, oh, buddy.
With the brainchild that is Chad Canal. Yeah. Yep. I don't know if it's Jeff Gordon or Jimmie Johnson domination, but I think Casey Kane would definitely win 2.
Yeah, more than he did.
Yeah.
And then my last one, and it's kind of fitting since NASCAR is doing the recognition of the 75 greatest drivers.
Oh, I don't even want to get started on that. This is
I'm not getting into that. I'm just in general. They are doing it for the 75th anniversary, and they just put Cousin Carl on the list. So I figured he'd be perfect because this is about the time that he came into the Cup Series as well.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Carl Edward at Hendrick Motorsports?
It'd be nuts. Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
So he wasn't signed with Roush at first. He ran a part-time schedule for MB Racing, and he had a best finish of 8th at Kansas, and that's what got him noticed by Roush.
When was Kyle Busch first year full-time in Cup for Hendrick?
2005 or 6, but he was only just 18. So I couldn't include him because he would have been too old. He wouldn't have been old enough.
True. Yeah.
That's the only reason I didn't say Kyle Busch because the whole rule exists because of Kyle Busch that, you have to be 18.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that they wait and start that team around him and the same?
Not with Lowe's in their breadbasket.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, if no Jimmie, is there any Lowe's?
Yeah. There's no. Yeah.
They already had the sponsorship there.
Yeah, Lowe's was with Kyle Busch. I think Lowe's is the one that told Kyle, we don't want you. And then, I don't personally think Rick wanted to get rid of Kyle. But I don't know if they would have waited and started that.
No, I think they started right away. That's why I went with the 3 I went with, because I think they all would have been great fits for the car. I think they all would have been great fits with Chad Canals, and I think they all would have been maybe not to Jimmie's level of success, but they definitely could have competed for some championships and at least some wins.
I think Casey Kane would be the best fit.
Yeah, that's my thought. I'd put it Casey. I'd put it Carl. Then I'd put it Greg Biffle. Not any disrespect to the other two. I think they're about the same. But Casey Kane, I think, is just, in my opinion, such a better raw talent. And you've seen it a lot at Everham, but the car wasn't always there. And when it was, it ended up in the wall halfway through the Coke 600.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah. Casey Kane in the 48 with Chad Canal. That's got a good ring to it.
Yeah, right?
Man, let's go back in time and figure that out.
I mean, I just told you how he did it. He just do the same thing he did to get out of Yates' contract. Just do it a year earlier.
Yeah. So what do we think happens to Jimmie?
If he doesn't get noticed by, I don't see anything from his stats in Xfinity that tell me that he would have had a shot if it wasn't for Gordon noticing him.
No. I think he would have just been a back marker trying to scrape by Josh Williams type.
I think honestly, he just would have ended up back doing off-road racing.
Yeah, I think so too. Nobody would have ever known who Jimmie Johnson was. Yeah. He would be known at this particular day. He would just be known as the guy that jumped across the track at Watkins Glen.
Right.
Yeah, just look at this crash.
So we're not going to go do his entire win list because that's a bit ridiculous. But his 7 championships. Who wins his 7 championships?
Jeff Gordon for another 3, for sure. Tony Stewart 1. That's 4. There's 3 more out there.
I want to put it out in the universe that Carl Edwards wins a championship or 2, please. Please.
Does he win it with Hendrick, or does he use on?
Yeah, because Carl Edwards could be in the 48.
That's true. It
could still be Hendrick's championships.
I think Roush continues to dominate because they won the 03 and 04 championships. So I mean, who's to say if Jimmie doesn't exist? Well, in the NASCAR world, that Roush.
I mean,
yeah,
that's fair. So in that scenario, we say Carl gets 1. So that's 3 to Gordon, 1 to Edwards, then left. 2016 would unfortunately have to go to Logano.
Yeah.
Was he second in that? Was he second in points after that race? Still,
he was. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, he finished 4th.
Yeah, so
3rd because Larson finished 2nd.
That's right.
So it was Joey Logano.
So that one would go to Logano if everything else went the same, obviously. But
Matt Kenseth probably.
Yeah,
2013. So.
Yep. So we only have 1 left, or did we give 1 to Tony too?
Tony's wins. Tony wins again, back to back.
Back to back. So we make Tony Stewart a 4-time champion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That checks out.
So with someone like Casey Kane, can Hendrick still be the powerhouse it was through the 2000s?
I don't know. I honestly think in 2008 when Junior came over.
Yeah.
I think whoever is that team, I think Chad Knaus and that crew goes and bees with Dale Jr.
Chad Knaus and Dale Jr.
Yeah, I don't. If Jimmy's not around and whoever team Chad Knaus is with, I would imagine Rick would be like, I want the biggest guy in NASCAR with the smartest brain in NASCAR together. Who knows? Junior could have 2 or 3 championships.
Maybe 2015.
Maybe.
If it went a little bit differently. I think we talked about that or something.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
What about Denny?
Denny? What about Denny? He wasn't on anybody's radar till
No, I mean championship.
Oh, Denny, no.
No.
He was close in 2010. I mean,
yeah, and he choked. Do you think he would choke? He wouldn't choke just because someone else was in that car?
Who's to say what Denny Hamlin?
I'm just going to take the overwhelming burden of proof of all the times that Denny Hamlin's choked away a fucking championship and say yes.
Fair enough.
No, I disagree. I don't think Denny would win one in those years.
I don't know. He could have maybe won one in 2010. I don't know. It's funnier if Denny doesn't.
It
is.
God, I'm a dick.
He's going to be so rowdy whenever he does win one.
Oh God, I want to avoid the internet for a couple days.
Yeah.
He's not winning one.
Hey, now he might go down and run a full year in Xfinity, like Elliott Sadler.
Also, for the 48, what about Martin Truex Jr.?
That would have been early, but
sense.
that's possible.
Yeah. I was junior guy. Brad Keselowski as well. Whether I don't know the year.
Probably
Brad
never
came
lose
in,
Brad to Penske.
Yeah.
Possible.
There's so many possibilities.
There's so many.
Kurt Busch.
No. Oh no. No.
Hothead Kurt Busch with Chad Ganow's 48.
Man, and if they signed Kurt Busch,
They dropped Kyle to sign Kurt.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, because it'd be Kurt Busch first.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying they dropped Kyle early and just pick up Kurt instead.
Yeah, they're bent both ways.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot more. Hell, some people say Jimmie Johnson is the face of NASCAR from the 2010s and the death of NASCAR from the 2000s to 2010s.
As long as I've been a fan of him, I've never had anybody come up to me when I'm wearing his gear and be like, "Oh, you like Jimmie Johnson?" They're like, "Who's that?" You don't know the greatest of all time, 7 times? Oh, what? There's only 3 of them in our sport.
Right.
I don't think he's the face of NASCAR. As much as I would love for him to be the face of NASCAR.
He should have been. They were always pushing the guy that was running 25th.
Yeah.
The guy that could only win on Father's Day once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I said that out loud. Oh, no.
They're going to love that.
It's fine. They know I don't like Junior as a driver.
Yeah. NASCAR
But,
Jesus.
Yeah. NASCAR
I don't like Junior as a driver. I like him as an owner.
Same. Harvick was right about him, though. If he'd been more successful, NASCAR would have stayed more relevant.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But you guys got any other perfect world people you want to put in this 48 car with Chad Canal since Jimmie Johnson isn't existent in this reality?
Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer, yeah, that's around the same time. Clint's a lot better than he gets any credit for.
Oh, absolutely.
Is he?
I think so. What he did in RCR equipment, man. Especially late 2000s, early 2010s RCR equipment. Shit.
I mean, and the Michael Waltrip. I mean,
yeah, he almost won a championship for Michael Waltrip Racing.
Thanks, Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a sticky topic to talk about.
Don't worry, we'll go back to Phoenix eventually. No, it's good. But do you guys have anybody else you think we're about good on it there?
Yeah, I think that's.
I think that. Yeah.
All right, let's move into predictions. Jordan, like I told you, you can pick anybody you want. It doesn't affect us. Just want to see if you can beat us.
Right. Okay. All right. What are we starting off with, Xfinity?
We'll start with our open wheel series to get them out of the way, and then we can talk about.
Okay, so for IndyCar, I'm going to Romain Grosjean.
Okay. I'm also going with Grosjean. I told Billy that I was picking a former F1 driver and not JJ Yeley, unfortunately.
Okay.
So me and Jordan are both
last week.
Yeah, I know. But me and Jordan are both riding the Grosjean train. I think he's been showing speed all year. I think he finally breaks through and gets the DHL car in the victory circle. Who you got, Billy?
I'm gonna go with willpower.
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 Nice.
Sweet. All right. And then that race is the Alabama Grand Prix. Let's talk about the F1 race in Azerbaijan with the new sprint bullcrap format with only doing one practice now because, we're so smart.
The sprint is a good idea.
The sprint's a good idea if it actually meant anything, but it doesn't set starting order.
Yeah, if it's set the grid for Sunday, then
but it's not. It just exists.
Now it's just what are we doing?
Right.
I guess I don't know. It's so hard to pick Formula One because they're so all equal. I'm gonna go Max Verstappen.
Hell yeah, going Max Verstappen.
Wow, what a wild pick.
I know, that's crazy.
Well, the cars are so equal in Formula One. It's just so hard.
Yeah, I know. Man, that's crazy. Billy, who do you got out of the full field of competitive cars? Let me guess, you're going to go with Nick DeVries?
Oh, how did you know? No. You know what? I'm gonna save one of my Verstappen picks or Red Bull picks. I'm gonna take George Russell.
You're gonna take George?
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't blow up this time.
Well, if you're taking George, then I'm gonna take Lewis Hamilton.
Well, hopefully he remembers the magic button.
So yeah, we'll see which Mercedes driver does better this weekend. But yeah, now we'll move into Xfinity at Dover. I don't remember what the sponsor for the race is, but
it's probably something hilarious.
Probably.
Around the Rosie's 300.
Yeah, something. All right, Jordan, who do you got for the Xfinity race?
Ooh, this one's also really tough. Josh Berry.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I figured with the free pick you'd go Allgaier, but I think Berry's going to be really good there too.
Yeah.
Well, and I've already used Mr. Allgaier, so this weekend's about taking some shots. So I'm going with Riley Herbst.
Hey, I tried that before.
Hey, he's either going to finish top 10 or Rex. So we're due for a top 10.
So,
Billy, who do you got for Dover Xfinity?
Well, first of all, it is called the A Game 200.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
me neither. You got to be on your A game.
Dash for Cash this weekend too, though.
Oh yeah, Dash for Cash is this weekend. I don't even know who the guys in contention are.
It's not Josh Berry.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna take Sammy Smith.
Sammy Smith. All right. Solid pick.
Nobody likes John Hunter Nemechek all of a sudden.
I already used him.
We already used him.
No.
Yeah, we can't reuse our picks, unfortunately. Not until the playoffs. Then we got the Cup race, which is the something excessive 400 at Dover, I think. I don't know.
Is it still Dryden?
It's either Dryden or Ally. I don't.
It's not going to be Ally because Ally is
Nashville.
Oh yeah, They're doing Nashville. That's right. They took the second.
It is worth 400.
Man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jordan, who you want to go with for Dover?
Well, my original pick is dealing with some vertebrae issues.
Me too.
So
I had his name written down and everything.
Man, I don't know. The Hendrick cars are too good, and this is not a Kyle Larson type track, so I'm not going him. Chase Elliott.
He's finished second there before.
Yeah, and I also thought Martinsville. I was like, it's not his track, and he goes off and wins.
Right. It literally is his worst track, but statistically, he just goes and wins.
Yeah, and then Chase Elliott has one win there, but statistically doesn't run well there. William Byron. I'm gonna go William Byron. I think he's good. He's good there.
All right.
His one win was with Check and House on the box though. So.
Well, I'm sure Chad could be on the box if they need him to be.
Yeah.
But let's see. I thought about this, and I still say it's too early to pick Chase Elliott, so I'm going to save him. I'm going to go with the guy that was running top 5 there last year at the end of the race. I'm going to go with Ross Chastain.
Very interesting.
He's been fast all year everywhere they went. There's no reason for me to think that he's going to be slow here for some reason. So I'm going with Ross.
Yeah. You know, I have I have a lot to pick from here. Yeah. Brendan Poole's in the 15. That's
Hey.
intriguing. It's intriguing. You know what? I don't care. I don't think it's chase time yet. And it seems like a track he'd be somehow be good at. I'm gonna go with Justin Haley.
Okay. We'll see. That could be a solid pick. Depends on how those colleague cars are running this week, but hell yeah.
Ooh.
All right. I think that will do us, boys. I think that we very briefly covered everything that we needed to. We did our predictions for the weekend, and I think we're ready for some hopefully good races from Dover.
I hope so.
I know that the Alabama Grand Prix is going to be good, and Azerbaijan should be, well, at least it'll be interesting to watch the one practice in the sprint race, I guess.
Saturday will be entertaining for non-F1 fans. Real quick, when I got y'all, I know there's no particular order in which these things are being announced, but why have they not announced Jimmie yet? That's like
they're probably saving him for something. I don't know, man. They got to build this stuff out.
The last 3 are going to be the 7 times.
I mean, we're going to all the tracks he has the most wins at. You could tell me they're not in order, but when I read it, I'm like, really, Joe Burton's better than Jimmie Johnson? Kyle Larson's better than Jimmie Johnson?
Well, I don't think. I just think they're, if anything, they're starting at 75 if they're doing it that way. But I don't think it's ranked in any way. I know.
No, yeah, I know it's not. It's really bugging me.
The whole idea of adding to a list from 25 years ago really limits you. So I'm really confused on what they're doing anyway. So
yeah, I know they've released their top.
Yeah.
I think the top 50, but like they did that a few years ago. And
Right.
Jimmie was it was Richard Petty and Jimmie that was tied for 1.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you're going in order, you're waiting for Jimmie.
yeah.
So, I mean, might as
maybe
well.
They announced it Coke 600.
There's some kind of survey or focus group that they've put together that says that this is the best way to do this. So let them get their free social media engagement. I'm just going to ignore it unless it's a driver I care about. To be honest with you.
Yeah, this is the thing. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way he's going to be not going to be on the list.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all have a good weekend, and let's all cheer for another Rays loss tonight.
I don't like that idea.
My Reds are already so far in the gutter. I don't care what happens anymore.
I'll take a Rays loss as long as I can have a Lightning win.
I mean, I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah, it's a very fair trade. So
yeah.
I just will not take both losses. That I will not do.
Fair.
All right, well, I'm gonna finish cooking dinner, guys. Appreciate y'all for letting me come on.
For sure, man.
Thank you.
And thank God we got Jimmie Johnson around.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.